we got a new stop this week, or at least I don't know, we did, but I did. On my Friday, we're delivering to the last Radio Shack. It's actually in Bend, Oregon. It's kind of become like a hot spot.
And they have the last of a bunch of old things. The last Blockbuster,
the last
Radio Shack, the last of the Mohicans,
the last Samurai.
All right, so roll the intro.
Evening, officer. Is something wrong?
Just keep your hands where I can see them. Routine traffic stop. We got reports of someone driving under the influence. You know anything about that?
No, I'm only under one influence.
What's that?
The influence of Jesus.
It's time for Under the Influence.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children.
What's up,
everybody?
What's up, everybody? Oh, we don't have the gun sound effect on this one, do we? Hey, everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Under the Influence.
No, we just have this one. No, really.
Oh, real gun. I'm one of your three co-hosts, tri-hosts, if you will, Jude Crane, joined by my brother
Levi Thiessen.
and my close cousin
Jerry Crane.
My real brother won't interrupt me.
Yep.
Anakin.
My real brother.
My real brother.
If you were my real brother.
We grant you a seat in this family, but not the title of brother.
Ooh, did you see? I posted a real good meme that you would like because it's Star Wars related, Levi. Actually, I think I posted it. Crap. Yes, I did. Roses are red. I have a blaster. We cannot. What is the line that Mace Windu says? Something.
We grant you a seat on this council, but not the rank of master.
That's amazing.
I thought it was funny. Huh? What's up?
Did you say something?
I don't think so.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you for being here another week. This is episode 23.
Every year.
If you would like to get more involved in the discussion on the podcast, point out how funny Jude's voice is, or
how stupid Jerry sounds.
Yep, or how
cute Levi
much
is.
you wish Levi would release a hot new single, like a song.
I will release one out of his basement into your area.
It's not funny anymore. Then get involved on Discord or Facebook or Twitter. We've got all that. Twitter is CI Games XYZ. Facebook is Under the Influence Podcast. And Discord, go to christianinfluence.net or discord.gg/christianinfluence and get involved. You can talk to us there. Or play games with us sometimes. That'd be pretty fun, huh?
Mind games. Mind games.
Yeah, exclusively. I got to turn up my headphones here because I can barely hear you.
Sorry.
But if you scream again, it's going to hurt real bad.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was just screaming in the pre-recording.
Yeah. I was auditioning. I was recording a little audition tape for my future voice acting career.
Yeah, where he's going to play...
He's going to play anyone from Dragon Ball Z in any of the pre-battle episodes.
Screaming. Yeah.
He's gonna, so that they can save
their
4
voice. Episodes of just straight screaming.
Well, so that the real voice actors can save their voice, they hire people like Jude to come in.
Just damage my vocal cords.
Damage their vocal cords. Yeah. And also, if you are so inclined and you'd like to help support what we're doing here with Christian Influence in general, providing servers and online spaces for people to get involved, you can do that on Patreon. And to shout out a few people who are doing that, we've got a few new patrons that I think have been supporting us for a few weeks, actually, and we haven't shouted them out yet. But
we are so sorry.
We've got ya boy,
one
of our community moderators in our Discord. We've got Jarrett. So back to regular names now, not screen names.
Yep.
Jarrett. Somebody named Jade.
Cool name.
It's spelled Jude.
Not anymore. It's all right.
Now it's Jade.
No, it's still a cool name.
Diane and Joshua. So thank you all for your support. We really appreciate it. One of these people on here is our only $3 supporter, actually. And that would be Jade.
Everybody else gives more money than this.
Now, how much you
this
give
Jade
does not
guy
matter. You could
sounds
give
kinda
50 cents and
lame.
we would be incredibly thankful. But somebody here at this table,
Who is that, do you think? Could that, Levi?
no, Levi doesn't give anything, but that's fine.
No, I don't give anything.
Oh.
But I don't like
But
join
one of
in
us
and
slapped
just
us in the face,
Wow. It could be any one of us.
and it could be anyone.
Man, I feel bad because I thought I could trust you guys. And one of you is a...
Did you
Heck, I don't even
part
trust
of the
myself.
prophecy?
Who knows? Maybe I blacked out and it was me, and I'm absolved of any guilt for it because I wasn't conscious when I did it. But it's not me. It's one of you.
Are you absolved of guilt if you do something while you are blacked out?
That's actually an interesting... I have a bit about that.
Especially not, I think, because in most cases when people are blacked out like that, it's like when they're drunk.
It's because they've allowed themselves to get there. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're no longer absolved. But no, it was... I had a
What if somebody drugs
psychotic
you?
break. Not that I did, but if I had...
Well, no, in all sincerity, what if somebody does, like, drug you
Yeah,
against your will,
yeah,
and then you do something horrible?
yeah. Well, like... Then you have to dissect the hypothetical,
Yeah, I
unfortunately. And then in that, I think it's pretty
Kinda
easy to
ruins
come to
it.
a conclusion.
Yeah,
We haven't had
Anyway.
a hypothetical in a long time.
That's true.
that is true.
We kind of
Oh,
abandoned that,
quick,
didn't
before we abandon the Patreon thing.
Sorry.
The next 5 patrons we get, the shout out will be a rap written by Levi with all their names.
we? Doing this spin
So
again, huh?
I'm saying that, so now it has to happen. And
Wait,
you don't have to
performed by?
perform
You
it.
just said, yeah, written.
yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
just
written
need to
by
write
you.
it.
Levi will write a rap
And Jude
that
will
ties in-
perform it.
with Jerry.
I was literally about to say, man, I love getting to sit on the sidelines and just watch the two of you pin stupid things on each other, and then Jude roped me in.
Jerry and I will perform a rap
Okay.
as the legendary musical duo.
If Levi
Band of
actually
brothers.
writes one, doesn't just like put a bunch of things down, but actually writes one, sure, yeah, that'd be fun.
And it... I gotta say,
Stop adding to the mess, dude.
A music
Wait,
video
we
edited
needed-
by
a
the
music
guy in
video
the chair.
will be released
Stop.
of Jerry and I
No.
as the legendary rap duo, Band of Brothers, singing the names.
Band of Brothers is a real thing, isn't
Is
it?
it a real thing, Band of Brothers?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's like a motorcycle
literally
gang.
World
or
War
War
Elderly
II
band?
movie. Like
Oh, is
Band
it?
of Brothers, yeah, it's a movie. That's right. I don't think
it's
sounds
got the
available.
guy that the show was like Life or something, where this guy goes to prison for like 15
That's
years
not
or whatever,
Life.
gets millions of dollars.
Monk? Wait.
No. But that's that actor.
The
Was he
actor from
married to the
gender
woman
is-
from Penny Dreadful?
No.
Not that guy, because that's Life.
Yeah, Band of Brothers is a military.
Yes. That's what. But one of the main guys from.
Oh, it is the guy from Life.
The guy from Life, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is him. He goes to... I've never
He was,
seen Life.
you know what his most famous role is? the bad guy in Alex Rider.
the Alex Rider movie that did
Have you seen that?
so
No.
good.
Dude, I loved that movie growing up. Oh no, it's probably bad. But I loved that. Okay, I feel like this was something that was more relevant in our childhood, which is like teenage slash like child spy movies, right?
Cody
Like
Banks.
Cody Banks,
Cody
Spy
Banks,
Kids,
Spy
Big Fat
Kids.
Liar. Like the
That Sweet Life of Zack and Cody movie for some reason where there was mind control
Yeah.
that made no sense.
what?
It might not have been Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, but it was the twins.
No. Oh no! It
I
was
think
Sweet
it
Life
was.
on Deck. Or no, I think it was just them.
It was Sweet Life.
Okay,
I don't
might
think
have
it was
just-
canonical Sweet
You
Life.
sure?
Nope, certainly not.
Oh, I think it might be Sweet Life. But this guy mind controls people and dolphins. I think.
It made I remember what you're talking about, and it made no sense.
Yeah.
If it was Sweet Life, because
I mean,
that show's like about the real world relatively, rather than just alien mind control stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
I loved that show. What were we talking about? Oh no,
too.
spy movies.
Spy movies.
Cody, what was it called?
Cody Bank.
No, not Cody Banks.
Agent Cody.
Alex Rider. That one was my favorite one out of like all of them though, because it had like really cool real gadgets. It was like
Toothpaste. that
teenage
melts
James
metal.
Bond. You've never seen that?
No.
Really?
It was
Good
cool.
movie.
At
They
least I
have,
don't remember.
He basically, they just invent a VR machine that brainwashes people.
Oh
Very
yeah, that is what it's about.
Yeah.
There's just some cool.
They
scenes.
MK Ultra kids.
What is MK Ultra?
Not a very good thing that our country did. Or
Yeah.
was a part of, at least.
It was a big thing.
What were we just brainwashing people?
We were trying.
What in
Yeah.
the world is the guy in the chair? Looking
Oh my word.
at?
Danny
no.
DeVito.
He's about to send
Oh,
a picture
okay.
and say, "This is Jerry."
We beat the guy in the chair to derailing the conversation by looking
derailing
at
him.
by derailing him. Nice.
No, but yeah. I love Spy Kids. I watched that a lot.
Spy Kids was
Spy
rad.
Kids is the worst version of that.
It is
Wow.
no, it's just the farthest into the fantasy of it. And
It is like
Alex
the
Rider
fantasy.
What
was
I
kind
love-
of the furthest into the reality. But
No, I just
I think,
what?
just the picture that the guy in the chair just sent.
that it's a photo.
It's a photo of greasy,
Danny DeVito.
bald Danny DeVito.
Not just bald. There is
In
no
underpants.
hair on Danny
He
DeVito's
took
body
off all of his hair and is drenched in hand sanitizer.
to be more clean.
You guys
And
keep
he
talking
is
because I need to get a picture of the guy
crawling
in the chair.
around like a slug.
He's in a diaper. No eyebrows.
No,
hair.
he's not in a diaper. He's in tidy whities.
That's right. It's tidy whities. It's the cleanest underwear.
no skid mark.
Keep talking.
Oh, we have a picture of the guy in the chair.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm doing right now.
That's cool. Anyway, Alex Rider, this British guy, MK Ultra's kids, and it's cool. Also, he has toothpaste that melts metal, which I think is in the movie.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember the cool gadget.
When you
And-
said realistic gadgets, I was like, I remember
well,
one.
not realistic, but it felt like real world gadgets
Yeah.
because in that movie he has to like get through a lock or something, and it's this toothpaste that when he puts it in the lock,
Yeah.
it just like acid burns it away. I remember.
He actually beats the villain by brushing the villain's teeth with it. And his
well,
teeth melt
gross.
out of his mouth.
But does that beat having George Clooney as the president of the United States that's actually being played by Sylvester Stallone with a hologram?
Sylvester Stallone plays George Clooney.
Sylvester Stallone uses a hologram to impersonate George Clooney as the president.
Yeah.
Because George Clooney is the president.
Okay, he is
and
the
then
president. I thought you were saying
later
the
on,
president-
Sylvester Stallone reveals that he had been
Yeah.
manipulating
I thought you were
George
saying-
Clooney and the American Spy Kids Association.
I thought you were saying that in that movie, George Clooney, the actor,
was being
is
played-
the president, but it's played by Sylvester Stallone pretending to be George Clooney, who is the president.
That would have been a better movie.
That would have been so funny.
Sylvester Stallone actually played 4 parts in that movie.
Really?
Because I can't remember if it was like split personality.
Oh,
or
that's
if it was
right.
actually like 4 different people.
Yeah.
But he would like have continuous arguments with himself.
Yeah.
And they're all like some like super characterized role of like someone's mind. But,
Yes.
Like one was super science brainiac, but he was super timid.
Does he get it all the faces put on like one head at some point? Or am I
No, that is in the first Spy Kids movie.
Okay.
That's all about the floop.
Oh, the thumb people?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
That's right.
that's when he
he's
takes
got, like,
the
a-
clay and
Yes.
Wait, what?
and then he makes the scientist into the 4-headed person.
Yes.
That has to speak backwards in really high frequency so that nobody understands what he's saying.
Yeah. That terrified me.
Spy Kids?
That scene.
Yeah.
I hated the transformation of that. It was gross.
It was very scary. But that was the guy from Monk.
Oh, really?
The scientist,
Yeah,
in,
the
episode-
scientist.
in the first Spy Kids movie.
Interesting.
He kind of fell off, didn't he?
Was Buscemi in the first one?
No, he was the scientist in the second one.
Yeah.
Got it.
That was the mad scientist that
Yes.
created the island, and then he
That's right.
was playing God on the island, and then he hid up in his tower.
You ever think God
You know who
looks
else played God?
down?
Morgan Freeman.
What? Oh,
A lot
that's
of
right.
times.
I'm not
in
wrong.
Aladdin.
Twice, I think.
I think it's more than that. And would you call a narrator like a god? Because they're
No.
like
No.
Because
in the show.
our friend Micah was a narrator, and I wouldn't call him God.
No, like in the show though.
What show?
In what show? It depends if in the show the idea is that the narrator is God.
Or an
But
impersonal
like
narration.
in the movie Deadpool, Deadpool narrates.
No, but
he's
like
not God.
if it's not an actual person,
Yeah.
like narrating the thing.
If it's just like a
but
guy
they
who-
just have omniscience in what's going on everywhere.
Okay.
Most often, I've heard of them referred to as just like the storyteller.
Yeah.
Like you know all those
Kind
old,
of
especially
like-
those old kid movies, like in Robin Hood or something, where like the book opens and someone's
Long
like,
ago.
"Long ago in Sherwood
in-
Forest."
In China.
In China.
In China. Jiaxingguang.
Careful.
Bing Chiling.
What about Winnie the Pooh?
Great. We can't, you know.
Well, now we can't
China.
share it in
All of our
China.
Chinese listeners agree with us.
In.
Us.
Who's that cowboy actor?
Clint Eastwood?
Nope. Cowboy.
Guy with
John
the
Hamm.
mustache?
Cowboy.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. He narrates a movie I really like, but I wouldn't call him good.
Well, yeah, you just really like Sam Elliott.
Yeah. I do.
I like Sam Elliott.
I do too. He's great in the movie I like.
You know, he's from Springfield, Oregon.
This is true.
Yeah.
He has a ranch there.
Yeah.
That was more for the listeners, not for you.
Yeah. I met him en route. Ooh, speaking of en route.
Do you have an on-route segment?
I do.
We've rambled enough, about for 14 minutes.
All right, en route.
Incredibly accurate.
Oh,
Yes.
it's a bummer because this computer doesn't.
En route with Jones.
Man, I gotta mess around with the mixer on that.
Yeah, it
one
was a
while I-
little wacky. Maybe we should just make a new one.
Well, if I don't,
Professionally
we all
recorded.
die.
Digitally remastered. Yes. So this happened on.
I was trying to set the mood.
We got a new stop this week, or at least I don't know, we did, but I did. On my Friday, we're delivering to the last Radio Shack. It's actually in Bend, Oregon. It's kind of become like a hot spot.
And they have the last of a bunch of old things. The
Yeah.
last Blockbuster,
The last
Radio
Radio
Shack, the last of the Mohicans.
The Last Samurai. And so I was going in, and the guy, like what's his face, the receiver I was talking to, and basically, whoever you imagine is the last guy who works at the last Radio Shack. That's what this guy looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but he's really nice. And we're talking, and he's showing me around where the kettle corn goes. And we pass this like computer, and on it he has something running. And he's like, "Hey, check this out." And he was talking to me about this like cool AI.
Whoa,
that you can,
we see what you're doing.
No,
we see-
listen. This
You're
is the
trying to
truth
sneak it in
and
'cause
not a
we keep
lie.
stopping you.
This AI that makes images that are very realistic.
All right, well, I guess that's the episode. We'll have to end it here. We're only at like 17 minutes. We
Roll
gotta
the
let him-
outro.
We got to let him go.
Anyway, guys, that kind of makes me think about this other thing I wanted to talk about. I'll get back to the On Route with Jude. AI. You guys know what it means?
It means
Automated indigestion.
antimatter illithid.
Alternate indigenous.
Peoples. That's correct.
That's AIP.
And wrong at the same time. That's IPE.
That's that.
That's IPE. I'm talking about AI, artificial intelligence.
Artificial incontinence.
Artificial incontinence.
Incompetence. Have you guys seen some of these images that AI is making? It's wild.
Yes.
Yes? Dude, it makes me think. Doesn't it make you think? Because there's
Makes
a
me think
few
about
that you
how
have to like...
cool AI is.
Yeah, and dangerous potentially.
Well, that's what everybody likes to say.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about.
Well, change
Some of the one, like Midjourney is one of them. Dolly 2 is one of them. They can make crazy realistic photos.
Yeah.
Like one guy had Joe Biden doubling over eating a cockroach. And it looks like
Ew.
Joe Biden doubling over and eating a cockroach.
Well, there's a photo of him doing that.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, that's why it's so good.
Oh, well, it had good reference material. But it looks really realistic and it's freaky. And then I follow a concept artist on Instagram who did work on Flip. I forget what it was, but it's one of those games where you are hunted by a creature. It's not, but it's a monster in this one.
Like the Sasquatch one.
Like Sasquatch one or like Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
But you're hunted by like an alien creature.
Oh,
He was-
Alien
Is it
versus
the-
Predator.
No.
Like or
It's
there's
called like
a-
Prey or Hunt something.
Oh, yeah.
Prey, is that one of them?
No, Prey
There's
is like a
game
prop
named
hunt
Prey,
game.
okay.
This, Evolve. It's called like Evolve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's like what kickstarted his
That's
career.
a whole like genre of games now. And
Yeah.
they're fun.
That
Some
like
of them.
kickstarted his career because he designed each of the monsters. They were all pulled from concept art he had made, and then they hired him to full time design them.
Well, that's
and 3D
cool.
model. It was really cool.
That's got to be like the dream of an online digital artist is to like make stuff and then a game go, hey, we like your style. You know that I'll talk about this. Well, it's related right now.
Yeah.
That's how I've been watching the behind the scenes.
That's how you got into kettle corn, right?
Got into what?
Kettle corn, right?
Yeah. Somebody really liked my recipe and then said, make my recipe. No. That's how the animation studio for Arcane was decided. The people at Riot.
That's right, yeah.
I've been watching the behind the scenes thing. It's actually really interesting if you like that show. But the people at Riot were just like, we really like this small studio of artists. And I think they were like less than 10 artists all working. And then they used them for a few of their music videos. And then they got that department to build their studio to be like almost 100 employees. And then they canceled the project or at least put it on hold. So they had to send them all back and, fire all these people. Excuse me. And then they were able to keep it alive by making some music videos or something. And then they made the show. Sorry, go ahead. It's just interesting. That's got to be like the dream of being an artist. Is like,
yes,
you'll just make cool stuff. Then somebody's like, I like your cool stuff.
Let's use it professionally and get paid lots of money to do it. But he was talking, he posted this long, just like text of an image on Instagram. And it was about how a lot of work of those artists specifically who do like 3D modeling and rendering in effort to attract video game studios to hire them are losing work to AI.
Really?
Yeah, because
they really are.
They really are. Because
for concept art or for actual
concept art,
okay,
which then they can it's much cheaper for a studio to just say contract these guys, and then we run through a ton of AI generated concept art, feed it to the artists that we already have on contract, and then they give us what we want. Oh, which is wild, and it got me to think like, okay, so in video games, monsters, people, cities, designs, everything that we see in like video games could get to the point where it's all coming out of an AI neural network. Mm-hmm. So it is a computer looking at what humans have done in this specific area, and then determining what will be done. And then where does that end? Then it spreads to like marketing. What happens to us? Like, what does a society look like 1,000 years down the road? Hopefully we don't make it that long. Where now like marketing,
starting to sound like me,
graphic design, video games, art, all of that is what an AI has put out by looking at the past of humanity. And how does that affect culture when everything we look at is what an AI has looked at us and seen?
What's really interesting about that is a lot of people say like, there are no more original stories because all stories are inspired by, stories that have already been told.
Harry Potter.
They're just changed and things like that. But I think, there's some truth to that, but never would that be more true than in this version of reality, right? Where it quite literally is a network of thought that is just looking at, but it would be interesting because it would be like what exists.
Yeah.
Would it be worse or would it be better though? Because it would be able to look at actually all of it at one time. And so it could make like a mathematical, almost infinite number of variations to those things rather than people accidentally stumbling on or not realizing that they're stumbling on almost direct copies, but with slight changes. You know what I mean? Because then the computer could ensure that there is enough difference and variation. Because like we've experienced some of that, like we've talked about this before, but like even in D&D when we play it and we run a game or something and then somebody realizes the thing that we're doing, whether we realize it or not, is almost a direct ripoff of something that we've seen.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, there's so many memes in like D&D, the D&D community that's welcome to D&D if you're going to be the game master. Surprise, welcome to the whole world of ripping off everything that you think is cool because it's very true. But man, that's so weird to think about.
And what got me zoinked was thinking about specifically this guy who's a concept artist who does so much work with like monsters and things that are designed to make you uneasy and scared. Like 1,000 years later, are we just going to reach like the epic point of truly figuring out what just unravels people?
Because it's like distilled.
Yeah, it is distilled exactly what this neural network has figured out makes you unsettled and uncomfortable, but not running through any of the limitations.
Because like horror has like gone leaps and bounds over the years, but we could condense all of that slow, methodical, like changing of like what things are horror and like what things actually like are scaring people. So if you just condense that all down, just have it run on overdrive, because you can't do that to people. Like,
because the same ideas have kind of been around. Like, darkness is always scary because you don't know what's out there. Things that are similar to people but slightly off are always terrifying because they're meant to. You're supposed to find empathy with this because it's a person, but it's just different enough that it makes you really uncomfortable. And so, like, we're gonna reach this point where the machine is like only churning out the same thing intended to make you uncomfortable, and it's just like the most terrifying creature.
Well, what do you think that most terrifying distilled thing would look like, Levi?
Just like us.
A mirror. Oh no!
no, I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not an AI.
It look like me.
1,000 years later, it's like, this is just a dude.
You when you wake up in the morning
Yeah.
before you put on your makeup.
Me before my
Stop
coffee.
talking about that. I'm just limited to concealer now, okay? No, like, what do you think that would look like, Jude? What characteristics would it have? You mentioned darkness, so I think whatever it would be something like
I think it would have to be tailored.
Tailored?
tailored,
Yeah,
like
ta-
to the
Tinker
different
Tailor
people
Soldier
groups.
like tailored to people, like to groups.
Oh,
of
so
people.
when you look at it,
Like
you see something
different-
different than what I see,
different
like
cult.
magic.
No,
Well, when it reaches
We all
the
see our
point
greatest
that
fears.
it's the distilled version of the unknown and of the uncanny, then
it's-
what becomes most frightening is what is subjective to you. So, like, there is this
But
thing.
there's got to be something that is universally terrifying to everyone, at least to a degree, right? Like the
think
one
it's-
thing that is the most universally terrifying, which will be more terrifying to some people, and something else slightly different will be more terrifying to the other people, right?
Yeah.
But there's still got to be something that would be universally most terrifying, right? No, am I crazy?
No, because once it reaches that point, then how do you?
But
It's like the highest the baseline can get, and then it has to be tailored to Levi's interests.
Yes,
and my
I understand.
interests.
That's what I'm saying, like, what is that thing that is the highest that the baseline can get?
But also with it being the unknown and like being the fear of the unknown, once it's there, it's going to change.
Yes.
Because the things that were
That's a
scary
good point.
So could we actually ever reach that point?
Probably
that
not.
you can never get more terrifying.
Well, because culturally, like, things will change, right? Is that what you mean? Or
Like
because that's terrifying, that will become
like just
After a
out
generation of looking at the same image, it's going to lose its.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
after a minute of looking at the same image, almost.
Well, I mean, like, so there was, if you show a baby a horrific like Halloween mask, and then a normal person, it'll have absolutely it won't care about it up until like 3 months, at which point it learns, normal faces, and this is different. It's scary, but a newborn baby.
I saw someone that wore a mask
Yeah.
in front of their kid like the entire time. And then when they would take it off, the kid would immediately start.
What do you mean
freaking
the
out
entire
about it.
time? Like their entire life?
Like the like first few months of the child's life.
What a parent to be like, I'm going to perform an experiment on my newborn baby.
Well, there have been experiments where a newborn baby, they get showed like stills
like-
of people,
Yeah.
a horrific disfigurated face. The baby doesn't care. The newborn baby. It's only after like 2 or 3 months
After it sets in the patterns.
that they start to appreciate normality in like human faces.
it's like those videos of dads that shave their massive beards.
And then the baby's
And
like,
then the kids just start
Yeah.
crying.
this man?
I love it when the kid is like able. Well, no,
love it when the
I
kid
find it
cries.
funny when the kid like is like just able to like talk, and
Yeah.
that happens to them. Like, but it's before they understand that that's still the same person. But like they you can understand what they're saying.
Like,
They're like,
in
Dada,
their terror.
Dada, and the
Yeah.
mom's like, that's Dada.
That's
And
your
they're
dad.
like,
And then like with a towel over his face, and then takes it off, and there's no beard, and then they immediately just start crying. Like,
imagine how horrific that would be.
Yeah,
it's like,
because
that's
to them it's
Levi's
like-
eyes and forehead.
Yeah.
And then you drop the towel, and it's like,
Part of your face is gone.
yeah, your face is gone. And there's this weird, soft skin tone area where there should be the same as your head hair.
you know what's funny?
Babies cry.
No.
The baby, my neighbor has a kid, and
That is funny.
She loves, she hates people that don't have beards.
Oh,
That's-
the baby?
She shouldn't hate.
No, but she is like so much more happy and like wanting to like grabbing towards you if you have a beard. And
Wait, this is your neighbor?
yeah.
That's how old is she? Like 30?
No, this is the
child.
baby.
Oh, I tuned out for a second.
Oh.
And so the last thing I remember you saying was something about your neighbor, and then you said she hates people that don't have beards, and I was like, that's rude. And then you didn't say anything when I said that, and then you kept talking about how she's like way more happy and grabbing on people that have beards.
This is like
I was very confused.
like very, very, very like small baby.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
But yeah, I mean that
I'm
was
an
pretty
idiot.
much it.
Okay. I'm just imagining
just funny.
a full-grown woman was like walking up to you and was like, thank goodness you have a beard. Let me grab your face. That's funny.
I bumped the table. I'm sorry, audio listener.
I don't live in Roseburg.
All right.
What?
Hopefully nobody listening does either.
We love Roseburg. I go there once a week.
Yeah, and it's your favorite stop.
All right.
Is
Well, I deliver to Ben the last Blockbuster, so that's my favorite stop because I love Blockbuster and I have so many.
Okay, so
nostalgic memories.
did you actually go to Radio Shack?
Radio Shack has been out
Was
of
that-
business
that was
for
all a lie.
years.
Radio Shack doesn't exist.
Years.
It would be funny if Radio Shack, there was one more Radio Shack and it existed in Bend.
That would be
where
cool.
the last Blockbuster exists.
I don't think they'd want kennel corn though.
No, it wouldn't make any sense for us to sell there. That's why your thing was nonsense.
That was a little intentional.
Go ahead. There it is.
It's so loud.
That's why we all got quiet.
Oh.
But what does
So,
the culture look like when it changes, when stories are written? Stories.
Well, it doesn't have to be used for like horrifying.
Well,
things,
I
too.
think
That's
that
what
it
I was thinking
would.
about.
What I think that would be incredible with this, once it gets to the point that it's like, even more like you have the ability for it to go on its own, and it just does, and it doesn't go into just like pure abstract, like unintelligible images. So you could have like a game, an interactive environment where it's like every single experience is literally a new experience that nobody else has done. And it could be like true horror that it would have multiple, you could play through it multiple times and never know what to expect because it would always be shifting and everybody's experience would actually be different.
Or even like a story based or like an RPG.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's experience in it is slightly different where you have an AI fully developing new experience.
What did you just put in my drink?
Dude,
I didn't put anything in your drink.
what was that white powder then? Just trying to put you to sleep. No, what would be really interesting
It's
is
floating.
we're entirely done, I guess.
I didn't put anything in his drink. Wait,
Dude, it's a little man. What is
what?
Did you put a little person in
It
your
looks like a little
Let
person.
me see.
I didn't put anything in your drink.
Dude, you're lying. You put one of the little Adolf Hitler babies in there.
What?
Jude found this. Where did we get these?
I got him.
Jude ordered on Wish or something. All
What?
these little.
Can I
like,
see?
They're all these
That was
little.
my only one.
They're these little infants, and they look like
They just have black hair.
no, but the way it's shaped, and one of them that I had looked like it had a little mustache.
They're not.
So I
Hitler
called them
babies.
Adolf Hitler babies.
You want to look?
No, he's not that interested.
He doesn't care about anything.
I don't remember what I was saying, dude. Oh no, I think it could be applied, in my opinion, more interestingly to things where like you're playing games that are RPG, like story focused games, and every the interactions you have are actually different. Like you meet somebody in the game, and it's an entirely different interaction than anybody else has with them because who they are, what they do, and that kind of thing is actually different.
Like what is that show?
There is a game that's actually doing this. That's trying to. I can't remember what it's called.
Another Allegria or whatever. That's just
No,
gonna.
no, not Illyria. No, it's actually being developed.
Another scam.
No, it's actually being
Well,
developed.
so is Illyria. actually being.
Yeah, I'm not trying to sell you guys to like back it or anything. I'm just saying there was
Are you
a
a
game.
member of this company?
Dude, stop.
Do you own shares?
All I was doing was saying that I heard about a game that was doing this. I'm not trying to sell you on it. And it's just an interesting idea. It is that they're using a lot of this new AI generated technology. That's why it's different, because Illyria was them just trying to make it. But there's just a game that I was watching a video about. I don't remember what it's called, and they are using it to make it so that characters that you meet and stuff have these really interesting things about them that are different when you meet them versus when somebody else meets them. But it's not an online game. It's some single player RPG. But
Oh, Minecraft.
it doesn't do me any good talking about it because I don't remember what it's called. So
Bummer.
yeah,
But marketing, everyone can immediately go, oh, what is the highest success rate? What logo appeals the most? What colors appeal the most in footwear or in fast food? And every logo starts to look the same. And then people, in effort to go away from that, go back to people-made logos, and then those get attraction just for sake of being different. And then marketing becomes this weird, muddy area where it's no longer about what's appealing, but it's about what's most unique. And is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I have a question I wanted to ask you actually, and that reminded me of it. I don't know how interesting you'll find this, but somebody asked me recently about marketing and advertisement. So you know how like in marketing and advertisement specifically, there's all the research that says like certain things are more persuasive to people, or like certain colors, like what is it?
Red and yellow.
Red and yellow. For what reason? Red is
Red
like,
and yellow
Make
makes
me
you
hungry.
I thought, yeah, make you. Well, they also. Is it just that they make you hungry?
It's,
make you hungry,
it's like a drive it's a hunger drive. Like
Okay, I thought it was that red is an eye-catching color too, so it makes you remember things.
I've never heard that. I know red and yellow is used for food.
Food.
Yeah, I know that because it's funny, because it's the communist colors.
Well, also. Oh,
And if you know anything about
And if you know anything about communism.
yeah, you're usually hungry. Also, it's like the main colors of McDonald's.
Oh yeah. Like that's where the actual
Wait, McDonald's is communism?
McDonald's is communism and taking over the world.
But you've got all these different things, right, about like marketing and persuasive research and all that. Somebody was talking to me about like how, as a Christian, we are to condemn that.
Oh.
What do you think about that?
to
Condemn
condemn
what
marketing?
specifically?
Now, I was given no reason other than the fact that Christians are not supposed to be like conniving car salesmen, but like, and to be overly persuasive. Like the word persuasive was used as being wrong or like
Persuasive?
indicative of sin.
I don't think persuasion is indicative of sin in any regard.
Okay, I guess that's where that ends.
Oh wait, is this an opportunity for me to play devil's advocate?
Oh, sure, go for it.
Okay.
You don't have to be the devil's body, apparently, or like
Oh yeah, I just swelled up to
Possessed
twice the size. My skin turned red.
yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's wrong.
Why is it wrong?
Interesting question.
Mr. Devil's Advocate. I mean, I guess I should have come more prepared because
I think praying.
I wasn't really given any reasons for it. It was just
preying on anyone and kind of taking advantage, using your intellect, right, just to get someone to come to you is a little bit predatory.
kind of what was proposed, right? Why is that taking advantage of someone? If you are using proven, scientific or like, proven scientific data that says people are more likely to do something
because you're just using biology. It's not necessarily that people are more likely to be happy or better off. I think a lot of people that go to McDonald's because they see the sign and go, "Oh man, a Big Mac right now, I love that," probably aren't better off. But you're manipulating just
All our Australian viewers out there.
it's exclusively an Australian food chain, but they're probably not better off. But what you're doing is manipulating just the biology, just the meat, the flesh, for money, for gain, because it's not for their benefit. It's not like McDonald's is altruistic and going, "We're going to feed the world." Nah. They're soaking their meats in grizzle and grease. They're there for money.
You've completely got off topic.
No.
What we're talking about. So, like, when you are, where the conversation eventually got to was like, as a Christian, the implication of what they were saying was like, as a Christian, then I can't sell anything. Like that can't be my vocation. Like to sell anything.
that was their end
Well, that's
game?
where the end game. That's where it got to. Not from them. Where I was like, well, based on what you're saying, then right? Because it was like this idea of, well, if you want to be a salesman, you should try and be effective at being a salesman, right? Because it's where you're getting your livelihood.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be cheating people, right? There's a distinction there, I think. If you're cheating somebody out of their money, then
So you
you're
can't be a car
lying
salesman.
or
So it can't be a car
can't be a
salesman.
well, like
car
there's an
salesman.
interesting movie about that called Flywheel. Actually, it's a Christian movie made by those what are they called, the
Russo brothers?
no Russo brothers, no something brothers,
Wayans?
The Wayne brothers?
no, it's like the Roderick brothers or something. I don't remember.
Crane brothers?
Oh, wait, who made like Courageous?
Yeah,
Oh.
there's a cool movie called Flywheel. I actually really like that movie, but no, I don't know where I was going with this, man. I guess nowhere, but it was just an interesting thing. That
What is the question?
it's just is it wrong for Christians to use this scientific data that says like people are more likely to like purchase something or be more receptive to purchasing things when you use advertising with like the colors red and yellow in it, or like large words. So like if you're selling something and there's a video, right? If in the thumbnail you put large words in the thumbnail, or like things that are meant to catch people's eye too, right? Like so things that look pretty, like flowers, or like one of those things that like blow up and down in the wind to catch people's eye. Like, is that wrong?
Like the thing that I think of where I could see it like being wrong is like subliminal messaging. That's like
That was also brought
actual
up.
predatory like thing. It is illegal to like do like
To
certain
kids.
the effective subliminal
I thought to anyone.
messaging. What?
I thought it was illegal to do it, period. not
Yeah,
just
it's
to
illegal
children.
to do it, period. Not just to kids.
Well,
like
I mean, there's subliminal messaging in pretty much. That's a really hard thing to
no,
enforce.
What there
there's
is not
there's
dictated
there's
with
like
law.
there's like this actual like
Where you're showing one
Showing-
thing but saying another, like pretty clearly. Is that what you mean?
no, it's like it's a certain the like
So
CIA
harken back to
like
MK Ultra,
Yeah.
flashing one frame of a certain line of text.
Okay, yeah.
that your brain picks up on, but you
but
consciously
you
don't.
can't
Yes.
consciously
It makes you
pick
think
up
of
on it.
something.
And then
I was gonna say,
it
'cause just
continues
the,
and continues.
The statement
until
subliminal
you
messaging. Subliminal
brainwash
messaging
the
is in
person.
most everything. Not most everything, but in most things.
I would say, just what was made illegal was subliminal messaging.
Like the
but now
brain
just what people
hacking.
mean when they say subliminal messaging has changed and
Is-
watered down
yeah,
into
it's
this
not-
less
It's not the
inflammatory predatory thing.
as
yeah.
predatory version where now it's just like associations with things like on screen, but you can clearly go, oh yeah.
No, what Levi's talking about is
But what I'm
a
talking
literally
about,
unethical
It's like that
approach.
government brain hacking stuff.
yes,
Yeah.
Like the Winter
Where
Soldier, Homecoming, Freight
they've-
Car.
they've like figured out how certain like ways that the brain associates and
Like Chuck.
works. Yeah, like Chuck.
So Chuck was the result of a crime.
I mean,
definitely
everything
Yeah.
that happened to Chuck was
A
illegal.
crime. It was like the biggest example of said crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was what the question was. I mean, it was a long time ago that we had this discussion, so I don't exactly remember what their statement was, but you reminded me of this idea that is it wrong for Christians to use persuasive marketing or eye-catching material to try and sell something? And then the conversation kind of went, is it wrong to try and like be eye-catching or interesting in order to then get someone's attention so you can talk to them about the gospel? Because that kind of brings up that topic that movie we talked about last week, which was like, why can't you just preach the gospel of Jesus Christ? Why does it have to be made into some flashy thing, right?
Yeah.
Where I think the distinction is making the story of the gospel flashy versus like catching someone's attention with something interesting that leads into that discussion.
I think that there's a line that can be drawn from having a sign on the side of the road where the exit is for your church, like where you turn into the parking lot for it, saying what it is and like welcome, like the welcome message or whatever. And you could go like hog wild with that. Like, I don't think that that's a big issue, but like having the gold flakes raining down from the ceiling and then giving away like, and it's all just
flakes.
a big show.
Do you mean confetti?
No, literal. Like they say that it's literal gold flakes, but
What?
it's just that was the whole thing with the guy that was he was like using the gospel to like speak through. I don't know.
The guy that would have like an earpiece.
The guy that would like do miraculous healing.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See the guy that would he had an earpiece in and his wife would
Yes.
feed him. Yeah, so congregation members would write down things they're suffering with. His wife would be in the back with an earpiece. And then, like, if a woman named Samantha said, I'm struggling with intestinal cancer or whatever, he'd be like, I feel Samantha, and you're struggling in your stomach. I can feel the root of evil. Your intestines, you have cancer.
He was basically like
They
a
made fun of it in
diviner.
the movie called Fletch.
Yeah,
or
like
the second
like
Fletch, I
a
don't remember.
medium.
Yeah.
Basically. So it's all just
Peter
flashy
Popoff?
show.
Was that Peter Popoff?
Is that how you say his
Peter
name?
Popoff
Popoff?
sold crystals, did he not? Yeah, Peter Popoff.
So he was just a
cool guy.
scam artist.
Yeah, scam artist.
Dude, they really hurt the image of the church.
What?
Not to say that's a hot take or
Yeah.
anything. Oh, selling holy water for healing.
What am I
Okay.
feeling?
I know I've heard that name. I just didn't realize that was.
You know,
Not to be confused with Popeye.
there's an actual hack with
this-
holy water.
Hat with holy water.
There's a hack with holy water.
Hack or hat?
Hack. HACK.
Whoa. I thought you said hat.
You can have infinite holy water because whatever container was blessed as holy water, if you start to use it, you can add water back in as long as 51% of it was the original amount.
Is this a real?
Yeah, it's a real thing that I
Where do you think they get all the water for the exorcisms?
they asked like priests like how like if I do that does
So
it,
it's like that boat thing.
retain?
What's that boat called? Like
Shipathes.
Yeah, yeah,
Shipathesius.
it's the exact same thing because you fill it
eventually
back
the
up
amount that
and
was originally
it's
blessed.
all blessed
Yeah.
because the majority of it was, and then you can use it again, refill it, use it again.
But I feel like
as
it's
long
also,
as you never go
I
past
feel like
that
also
mark.
they would say like you can do this 7 times and then you can't do it anymore.
That does sound like something that
Right.
the church would. We're talking about our friends over yonder in the Vatican.
The
right?
Buddhists.
Yeah.
Buddhists.
It would be funny for them to be exorcising some demon or whatever. It's like, well, makes you think, doesn't it? Is that really holy water? Or has all the holy water been replaced?
Why is your priest basically Kratos?
No, that
no,
was the
that
demon.
was the demon.
Oh,
Because they're
That
like,
was the demon
cast
being
out
watered.
amongst ye,
Yeah.
ye prettily, yes, they verily, they then.
here is the Catholic answer about adding to holy water. The common custom, though not officially recognized, is that so long as the water added to the holy water does not amount to half the amount of the holy water, then all the water in the container is considered blessed. The reverse is also the common understanding. Adding a thimble of holy water. Oh, what? So you
does
can just
not
believe
make
either?
does not make the container full of holy
Okay.
water. The
The holy water would need to be more than 50% of the
50%
combined
of the
water.
water.
As previously stated, this is common custom and not official teaching. Since it does not take very long for a priest or deacon to bless water, adding regular water to holy water should only be done when absolutely necessary.
Oh, you know what's funny? Talking about this kind of thing, my aunt, she won't listen to this, I don't think. But even if she does-
A-U-N-T or
A-U-N-T, aunt.
Yeah. My pet aunt.
My pet aunt.
I had to make sure.
No, she sells jewelry and stuff, and she like makes it.
That's cool.
But it was funny. She was like, so I wanted to sell these Catholic prayer beads,
Oh.
and I wanted to know, can I just put them together and sell them, or do they need to be blessed by someone?
I don't know.
And I was just like,
Feels like they would need to be blessed, right?
Resident Catholic here would say otherwise.
but it's just like it felt very fishy and was.
Like she was trying to scam people?
I mean,
Is she a Christian?
I think so.
Oh, okay. It's a weird thing to sell.
Yeah. It is a weird
Anyway,
thing to sell.
I did want to say one thing.
No,
because
I
we went
just
on a
thought it was
weird loop-de-loop and pull, and your
Yeah.
shoes are looking cool. When you were just talking about like marketing strictly as a Christian, not marketing the church, I think
I don't think it's really that hard of a question.
No, I
People
think-
should be able to use discernment.
yes. Are you marketing towards what attracts people, or are you marketing towards like weaknesses of people? And then I think that's where it
Yeah.
steps into the unethical area.
I don't think it's hard to discern whether or not you're taking advantage of people. So
No,
I don't think the
I don't
question was
either.
really that.
yeah.
It's an interesting manufactured kind of dilemma that I think isn't so nuanced that anyone could basically look at it and discern in situation by situation what is right and what is wrong.
And
there's just some like borderline conspiracy theory. Sorry, go ahead. Levi.
I was just gonna say we're the advocates and like the human. What is the word?
Ambassadors.
Yeah, ambassadors of Jesus Christ and to the world. So, are you wanting to use subliminal messaging to get people to follow you, or
Yeah.
would you like to have?
I mean, now you're
color?
speaking specifically of like sharing the gospel, right?
Didn't Jesus
Yeah,
use subliminal messaging?
that's
He might have. He didn't trick people though.
no,
right.
he did not trick.
yeah. You're
You're
not trying
tricking
to trick
people to being like, oh, I got you to say the words and you didn't realize it, so now you're saved.
No, he didn't trick people, but
Say this sentence backwards, and then you say it in reverse, and it's the words, I accept Jesus Christ as my Savior. Now you're
trick
saved.
is a rough word because I think trick could also be implied in a non-predatory way, like
What?
a trick, like not predatory, not immoral kind of way. I just don't.
In
like the
no
word
way could you ever trick someone.
Well, if you like how that
Well, I mean, like think of King David. Like that's kind of a trick.
What is his
Like-
existence?
No. Was it Joshua who said a man has taken a lamb of another man, and then David was like, "Oh, kill that man." And then he's like, "Hey, that's you."
I was about to say that.
That's kind of a trick.
That's different.
Okay, I'm just the word trick is a little tricky.
and there was that
I think that would be better described as a trap. No.
Well, that hardly sounds better than trick.
that's entrapment.
Yeah, what did Jesus trap
almost
people?
quite literally is
Yeah.
entrapment. I think that's like
Hey, that's you.
yeah. I think that's like what's the word for that? There is a word for that.
Is it
Like
undermining?
I guess, or like revelatory conviction, maybe.
It's
I'm just
Hardly
coming
the
up
word
with
I
that
was
term.
thinking
That's
of.
not something that's been said. I'm just
in reference to Jesus. I was talking about like parables. I think in a completely benevolent way. Jesus used them to undermine people's walls that they had set up, like because people go into a conversation being like, "I'm never going to accept," but then Jesus would tell a story and they'd agree with the premise, and he goes, "Well, that is the premise I am saying."
yeah. There's a purpose. Like,
Yeah.
there's a reason why parables are were and I think still are so effective. I mean, it's like relative stories, right? Where you're able to relate to someone or get someone to relate to something in a story way more effectively than you can in just like telling somebody like facts.
Yeah.
Oh, were you done?
What?
You just looked off into space and went, yeah.
Oh, well, I think it's less about relation and more about
More about like subversing their walls.
quite literally, yes. Less about relation and about giving the exact same premises you would have given in a conversation or argumentative fashion, but in storytelling, not so that they relate to it more, but so that they see the premises just guised as something else. And then
So
once
it is
they
kind of more about like disguising the truth in a story because that makes it
Is
kind of
it
sound
not?
more. It just makes it sound more almost like
that's why I was saying the word trick makes me a little like
yeah.
no, I don't think in any way I know in no way Jesus was malevolent through parables, but there is a level to which that it is less about, oh, I can relate to this story, and more of, oh, I see the meaning of the story, the premises of what you're saying, but since it has nothing to do, it quite literally has nothing to do with me personally, I'll agree and see it, and then he can reveal the premises objectively.
It's clever.
Yes, it's clever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think in all of the topics we've brought up, the discernment we have by looking quite literally at Jesus's life could answer all, I would venture to say, basically any question in terms of like, is my advertisement unethical? Is my advertisement of the church unethical? I think you can find the answers to every question and every situation in which that question would arise in the life of Jesus. I think it's pretty easy. I don't think anyone would really disagree with that. And if they do, I'd like to chat with you.
Oh my goodness. I'd like to meet you, behind the schoolhouse.
I'd like to meet him out behind the schoolhouse.
I'll meet you behind the voice chat on Discord.
Yeah. I'll be holding debates on the Christian Influence Discord.
Nope.
No, we won't be doing that.
More of that.
No.
Won't be doing that. And I don't think our Discord is the place for debates. I don't know if it's conducive to change.
We've been talking about
I
it.
think
I mean,
debate as a whole It's kind of wrong.
You and I were talking about it earlier. I mean, I think. Wait, what did you say?
Who are you and what have you done with Jude?
I just
Dude, yeah.
completely.
I tuned you out and then heard the very end. Not that I was tuning you out. My bad.
No,
I mean,
I
we
tuned
all-
you out.
Generally
Not that
make
I-
a rule of not listening to Jude. No, we were talking about it earlier. I think there is room for healthy debate, but it's
Yes.
like you were saying, it would be interesting
Not
to actually
personal
see.
attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting. I actually liked the idea you came up with, which
No, I would love to have a debate channel where we have that is,
But,
that is
like,
moderated.
it's moderated.
Anytime
Like,
there is some form of
you have to
debate or
sit in there.
discussion.
Which the difficult thing about that is, and then we would have to get into like scheduling. Like
Yeah.
these two people
mind that
want
at
to
all.
talk about this, so Jude.
I
we
will
can make
see
sure-
you in court on this date.
Well, then we
so
can
that
have
we
interesting
argument
like
this.
war
Events.
callouts, like the way they used to be like, okay, we're going to war. Let's meet on this day.
is the
and
right
this-
analogy for this.
Well, you know how
where
like,
where
kingdoms
you
would
like
say, you have to show up
you
at the
meet up
battlefield
with the
we're
other
going to
guy,
be
and you're
here
just like,
at this
all right,
time.
these are the battle lines.
Yeah,
I think that's just called scheduling a debate.
yeah. So then, but I like war call out.
I don't know if war call out is
Jude,
like the
I'm
best.
calling you out to war in the debate channel at 6:15 tomorrow.
I love that.
That'd be sick.
I like
Just
to go
that
with
you have a responsible and mature moderator at all times because that's really necessary.
Well, that's what our
I
admins and moderators are
prefer
for.
the tried and true horse head in the bed.
Oh my goodness.
Is that The Godfather?
Yeah, that's the Godfather.
I've never seen The Godfather.
It's pretty good.
I've heard. There's just so many Italians in it. I'm kidding. I have nothing against Italians. It was a joke. I've never seen The Godfather because I don't like Marlon Brando.
Oh my goodness. You know, our Uncle Michael, who we've talked about on this podcast before, I hope we said his name then because I just did. He loves those movies. Those are
Really?
like his favorites. Yep. I'm pretty sure those are his favorite movies. When we were staying at his house a long time ago for Christmas or something, when we were kids, I remember him playing the, apparently these exist, the Godfather video games. Yeah.
What?
Alongside some
those come
DC video game that you and I played a lot of. Instead of him,
What?
remember that DC video game we played?
Like what era was this on?
2000.
Like
It would have been PlayStation 2 probably.
So the original
Oh,
Xbox?
no, it would have been Xbox or Xbox 360 because he didn't have PlayStation.
Alongside what DC game?
I don't remember what it was called. It was some DC. We were playing DC superheroes or villains. Like that one DC character who's like a magician girl. You know what I'm talking about? Like Zosra.
Her name is like a Alakazam or Zuba Zaba.
Yeah. But there was a
What
game.
was this? I know what you're talking
I know
about.
the card in the DC.
in the, yeah.
yeah.
But you
Was
know
it
what
on the
game was
computer?
No, it was on like the Xbox or something.
Oh, no, was it on the
This doesn't matter. We're talking about something.
Talking about
that
another
literally doesn't
dumb
matter.
old video game.
Did we talk about anything meaningful today?
I do think if there is something to be derived from what we talked about that is meaningful, if you are feeling bad, in terms of like marketing as a Christian,
Yeah.
because this is a business podcast now,
Apparently.
a Christian business living podcast.
I tried to steer the conversation into something meaningful from where we were, and I don't know if we did.
yeah, there was just no real question.
Yeah.
In all things, I think you can look to Jesus' life to find
I don't
at least the direction of the answer. that
Yeah,
you're looking for.
because I don't see how like some of those points can be made, but if someone feels convicted about using a color in their like marketing scheme,
Yeah.
then you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like
Wait, what?
it's a sin to try and not like
Adhere to your convictions.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like so that's okay.
Yeah.
But
If you're torn between, well, I want to grow my business and I know this will grow my business, but I don't know, then find some reassurance in knowing that on the topic of colors, and as long as you're not doing anything unethical, I'm pretty sure marketing and being good at marketing, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're, what? You're just making a
you're
face.
making
You made
did he
I
post
was
something?
I was just going up in the
Oh.
in our recording chat, and I
And
just
he's
saw
seeing the Danny DeVito
was up
image
there.
naked
again.
Danny
I wasn't
DeVito.
trying to derail you guys.
But you did.
Well, I didn't
Thanks.
do it on purpose. We have the benefit of having the life of Christ to show us what is effective and moral, right?
Yes.
And so I think it's pretty easy to answer those sorts of questions when
What spurred the conversation?
I do not remember.
Oh,
I was just reminded of it. I didn't think it would last this long here, and I didn't think that we would. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I do not remember. I think it's because we were talking about conspiracy theories, kind of, and there is a group of people who are, I think, borderline conspiracy theorists who say that everything is a subliminal message to try and get you to do something else. Anybody that is like working for a company who is, like trying to get you to do what they want because they are working for the government who is trying to get you to do what
Like
they
the
want.
ATF.
And these people that are, the ATF.
like the ATF.
And the FBI.
Yeah, that sounds like a conspiracy theory to me.
But then it was coming from like a Christian group who think that like this type of marketing is like derivative of the devil or something.
The specifically the colors that make you
and like the monster cans saying 666 kind of thing. And
Well, that's an entirely different branch because you have. Has Monster the company released that it is Hebrew? It's
I
not
have
just
no idea.
claws. Okay, because I know that would be an actual conspiracy unless they've confirmed it. Because the claw marks resemble the Hebrew character for 6. or
yeah,
something.
but don't you have to like take part of it out for it to be, or like add something to it
No,
to make it?
it would just be
No,
3 of the characters that
You just have
represent 6.
to clean it up, basically.
Yeah, it's a little more because I think I think it's supposed to be claws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a large group of people that think that is
But there's like the little indent like at the beginning.
because the
of each
claws
one.
do at the top slightly go to the left.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
goes and kind of goes to the side.
I think just makes a better looking image, but also
Yeah.
maybe it's conducive of something more. And if you drink a Monster can, then you're condemned to an eternity. of
That's why
suffering.
I've never had a single monster in my life.
Oh shoot!
I want to go
had
to
a
heaven.
monster.
I've had a lot of monsters.
Well, that's a bummer. I guess you have to drink that many Red Bulls so you can go to heaven now.
Wait, Red Bull. Red Bull
Yeah,
saves
did
you.
we want to talk at all about this? Or we want to save it for another time. The
Atheism and atheism.
morals of Christianity versus the morals of atheism. Don't worry about it. We'll
Okay.
get to it another time.
Got it. Cool.
Maybe we'll just end here. Dude,
I don't see why not. So if we shut up.
Dude, I don't know what we're doing anymore.
Okay.
Um,
All right, guys. It's a pleasure to talk to you. It's a pleasure to hear your voice.
yeah, is there anything we want to leave people with before we clean up here? All right, everybody. I hope you got something out of that. We'll be back next week for our season finale.
That's right. A full year.
Nope, 6 months. We love you very much.
It's been a full year. In some animal
That's a
year,
Chinese
that
New
is
Year, isn't
2
it?
years.
I don't know. I thought
No.
that was 10 months or something.
That's a slide whistle New Year. Anyway, Levi.
We love you very much. And roll the outro.
I end the program by saying, you've made this day a special day by just your being you. There's no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are.
That's a good one.